So last time we had the aftermath of the Noro fight being completed, so looting and wandering to explore the rest of the map, and once all the fog of war was gone, beat up a statue until it was beautiful, and then Bjorn broke it worse, and we went down to the nearby town. I don't know how to pronounce it. Plarand?
That's how I was pronouncing it, yes.
Or were we in Yadblan?
We were in Plarand. That's
Okay,
where the party took in this.
That's what I assumed.
Uh-huh.
And there were dream shenanigans, I believe. And Riven is perfectly normal.
Perfectly.
And what was her friend's name? Was it Cal?
Cow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ran into her, and she was concerned for her well-being. And we were, I believe, tentatively making plans to disembark by boat, making positively sure to tell the captain where we're wanting to end up.
Yes.
And hopefully how soon to get there, not after they gallivant to 3 other continents first.
We are never,
it?
ever going to live down the fact that we did that.
Is it Eichang?
Eichang, yes.
Eichang! We're going to Eichang!
Don't do that.
Sounds dumb.
And I believe that was sort of where we were, like having just made plans or discussing plans or making sure we never let ourselves live down what happened the last time we thought we made plans. Something like that.
Yes.
Yes. And Cal spoke with Riven at the end of that session was Cal talking to Riven about, if anything else weird happens. If anything else weird happens with the Axis, tell her. And if it gets worse, stop using the Axis.
If it gets better,
like a sane person.
If it gets better, use them more.
I mean, that would be the reverse. So, the session this time will open up with you guys waking up in the tavern or inn and
Dying?
basically preparing to find a boat to get to Eichang. So, who's going to lead the charge to try to find a boat? Probably Riven. Riven's been in this town before.
She just takes them to the docks, that's all.
I mean, yeah. Making your way down to the docks. Yeah, you see a couple ships in port. I mean, this is a port town for the most part. So, let's see. Cad was with the group the last time they went on a boat. Yep.
Believe so, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because Cad went with the group to Avon. But Riven did not.
And I'm pretty, and like that's how he knows about the trippy fish too.
True. It was his idea to stow away a trippy fish ask for more trippy fish.
I have one charge of trippy fish remaining.
One charge.
I recorded it like an energy thing, so I have rages, I have luck, and I have trippy fish.
Magnificent.
They don't replenish after a long rest. It's sad.
No, they did not. So, yeah. Down at the docks, you guys can find several people wandering about. Mostly merchant ships or other traveling vessels and things. But you will see the individual that high elf person who had took you to Mizuchog forever ago. It was a person that initially Locke was like, I don't know if I want to deal with that. But then you know, it's the same ship with Molotov and whatnot. Same boat, because that makes things easy.
So, but we've been on before then.
Everyone but Riven, yeah.
Right, just real quick, refresh my memory because it's been a bit.
It is the ship Orcadia, and the first shipmate, primary shipmate, however you want to put it, is Molotok, who is a half-orc. And Molotok's girlfriend is also on the ship. Her name is Lumbug, because half-orcs have silly names, apparently, sometimes. Yay, generated names.
Lumbug.
Yes. And they basically you had a minor excursion with fishy folks and a big giant shark when you were with this crew. Yeah. It doesn't appear that the captain is currently with them, but you will recognize Molotok and Lumbug and the ship itself on the docks.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, so Oak, I guess, will flag down said group because he was with he was on that ship when you went across before, and yeah, pretty easily you have a ship to travel across the sea, and Riven and Cal both will easily notice that it appears that some of your party have been on a ship before.
It's obvious that we have sailed previously. How is that obvious?
It is obvious that you at least know this ship crew. That you had interacted with
I know
them
this
previously.
crack. Oh, I know this scratch. And
Shish. Maybe it's not necessarily obvious that you've been on a boat before, but it's obvious that you know the crew. Because some of the crew are, conversing and calling names and things. And Molotok remembers Cad because Molotok and Cad arm wrestled. And Cad won.
that makes more sense. I will allow this.
You don't get a say in it.
But yes, you guys will easily find the same boat from before, and yeah, they are basically on a supply run and will soon be making their way back to Muzuchad, Eichang, any of the other port towns that people would wish to go to, especially when they see you guys, because you guys were a great help when the ship was attacked by sharks and weird fish people. So they are more than happy to allow you passage on a boat yet again.
Nice.
Pleasures of being somewhat known adventurers. So, yes, you will make your way on a boat. How well is Riven on a boat?
Does she get offended by it? By the notion of the sea? That would be amazing. I don't know why I want that, but I want it.
I don't think
her constitution is okay.
I don't think it would offend her, and it's not like she's going to be Well, she would be on the boat for about the same amount of time she was in the mountains, and that was the thing. But it was mostly because she was searching, and she's not good at searching in the mountains. So,
Alright.
when she got all upset about being in the mountains looking for Nora's lair before.
Just like so many days in the mountains, and she was just tired of it.
Yeah. Here she's mostly relaxing. And a nice lovely boat ride.
And then she has to make a surprise charisma roll, and she's perfectly normal.
You guys will easily make passage and begin your a little bit over a week and a half, like 10 days to go across, because traveling across the sea is slower than walking and my map is small. So, yeah. Does anyone have anything specific that they are doing on the boat? Or just riding?
Since it's the same group, can I inquire if they have any trippy fish?
Yeah, sure. You can ask the cook if you can have if he has any trippy fish, and he's just trippy. Oh, we'd have to find some again. We only get a supply of those whenever we can catch them, so not at the moment.
We don't have to go out of our way, but if we happen to find any.
Yeah, if we happen to find any, you happen to help us catch some again, then sure.
Kadruil seems pleased.
You do seem to have at least a few new people in your crew, so maybe we can get some more interesting results.
What?
These fish do weird things to you when you eat them. If I say more than that, I'll be spoiling the mother of all surprises.
Okay.
I think Cal will echo Riven's like, okay. Yeah. And then you will begin your trek across the sea. Yay.
And then we're there.
So there's an interesting tidbit here. You get to roll for shenanigans of your totally normal axes, Riven. Because normally you roll these on a creature's death, and you would roll per kill.
Right.
But that one conglomerate crazy soul that you had was more than one person.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you currently rolled once. You rolled twice already, which means 5. You had 6 souls to deal with. The 5 in the creature thing, and then Noros. So you have 4 left.
Should I just make all 4 rolls?
Yes. That's the easiest way to do that. Do 4 charisma rolls. Or charisma saves, rather. 4 charisma saves. Oh, that's good. Okay, 4.
Yay. And then 9. Oh, wow.
Well then.
It went up.
It did go up, like every time. 4, 15, 17, 21.
Like, listen, Legion, you work for me.
Okay.
So, you will give me a D8 roll for that random 4, and a 7.
Which new magic bullshit do I have now?
I don't like that laugh. That is not a good laugh.
Okay. So, there you are.
To be perfectly honest, I never expected to be this far.
Yeah, a crazy conglomerate soul will do that.
Okay.
So, you will have that, and Locke, what were you doing?
Okay, so, while en route, Locke would like to spend some more time over the course of the journey trying to really get a finer understanding of his connection to his little part of Vindsvept's realm, through things like deliberately trying to send himself there when he goes to bed at night, and even just like finding a few hours out of the day here and there to like meditate, I guess, and see if he can will himself to go there on his own without needing to be asleep. Trying to like map out how the connection to that place works, the finer mechanics of how he can get there, if at all, that sort of thing.
Interesting.
Do I need to roll anything, or are you just going to tell me the results?
So you're trying to will yourself there without Vindsvept pulling you there.
To my little pocket that I customized last time, at least, yeah.
Okay. And charisma is your magic stat.
And yes, charisma is my spellcasting thing for both classes, because sorcerer and warlock.
Right. So, in regards to that, give me a charisma roll. Charisma check.
Okay. And Mouse will agree with me. 7.
Yeah, nope.
Locke will emit irritated grumbles, but he'll just keep at it. Even though he's not getting anywhere, he's going to keep fiddling with it and see if he can over the course of the journey.
Okay.
It's new shit. He's excited.
Right, of course. See, normally when you roll checks and things like that, you're rolling to see whether or not someone succeeds or fails or whatever. And in this particular scenario, if it was possible for you to get there, at least relatively easily, then I was just making you roll that there to see if that was the case. So, while you may in the future have to roll it again and get higher to try to get there, here at this point, currently, and while traveling on the boat, maybe the boat itself is messing you up a little bit, because it's rocky and not solid ground.
Right.
So, at the current moment, for this little boat excursion, you can't really will yourself to get there.
Alright.
There's nothing saying you couldn't go there yourself if you asked Ambition to bring you. There's no reason he wouldn't do that. So.
Okay. Well, then, outside of that, for the rest of the trip, Locke will just make himself useful and get in some practice with his new spells, his new cantrips, namely by using a combination of Mind Sliver to kill fish and then Mage Hand to pick up the fish and bring them onto the boat so people can cook fish and eat fish.
Sure. And
if it turns out he pulled up a fish that you can't eat, he'll cast Catapult to yeet it into the stratosphere. Like, is this fish poisonous? Yes. Not our problem.
Meanwhile, the boat's traveled like maybe 10 or 15 feet or however fast the boat is going, and then the fish is coming back down like Magikarp.
Well, I'm like launching it away from the boat back out into the water.
Okay. Because you said launch it up, so I should, check
I said launch it into the stratosphere. There can be a diagonal factor involved in that.
That's fair. So, yeah. Riven, are you doing anything specific? Was that a nope?
Yes, that was a no.
Okay, making sure. Considering the charisma save that was the 4 was the first one of your charisma saves, early on in the boat ride, people will note, at least one individual who is close to you, will notice the change in your eyes. Riven, it's Cal.
Yes.
Did something happen? Your eyes changed. You can still see me, right?
Yes. I can see we're on a boat.
boat.
I don't know how well Hollis is handling the boat.
That's a good point.
Riven's probably over there babying him. like, off somewhere babying him. On the deck or something.
Probably, yeah. That is a good point. I forgot about Hollis never being on a boat and being a dire wolf, so... He most definitely cannot go below deck to sleep, so Riven probably sleeps on the upper deck. Just so that...
Yep.
And Cal will too, because that makes that easy. And you'll have the one little kid, Rowan, who was the one who had been singing in the crow's nest previously, is fascinated by the fact that there's this crazy powerful looking warrior lady with a big dog.
Yes.
Is he afraid of the dog or awestruck by the dog? This is an important detail.
That's actually a good point.
Because everyone either thinks he's adorable or terrifying.
Or just impressive.
He's awestruck.
Oh,
He
yeah.
likes it.
Okay.
So, yes. There's that. And a couple days into the journey itself, we will get a dream sequence. Hooray!
For who?
For Cal. Or not Cal. Cad. There we go.
We have too many K's in this group.
Need to perform surgery and extract the excess.
Then I'd be Adruil. That sounds like a drug. No.
Kadruil sounds like a drug by that logic.
No, it's fine.
So I have wonderful dreams.
You do have a interesting dream.
Okay.
You will find yourself in what appears to be almost like a it feels like it should be home, but you don't recognize it. It's like a there's elements of it that could be graveyard, but not quite. You don't actually see gravestones. It's about the only thing that Cad could think of that it would match up would probably be some sort of like ruins. It looks very strange, but it feels familiar.
You said it feels like homely for some reason?
Yes.
I'm from ruins, okay. Symbolic dreams are deep.
Yeah. And you will find the specter, the same specter that you had seen previously when you had done your little I'm going to talk with specters thing.
Gotcha. Consult the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she will sort of give you a smile and guide you over, and I'm glad I got through to you. Do you recognize this place?
No. Yes? I don't know. Let's go with no. Where is this?
It's an old family home.
Hmm.
Well, it was anyway.
Why is it all ruined?
Because our family is old, Kadruil.
Hmm. Okay.
I brought you here because some of the other specters, they found that moment when I was speaking to you in the wilderness to be not my greatest moments, and wanted me to apologize to you and your friends, namely the one who thought it was a good idea to speak into my mind. Do you know one of your friends that is good at speaking to others in their head?
Yes. That would be Locke.
Locke, then. Well, the next time that you are able to speak with your friend, which I'm assuming you're traveling with them, so that should be easy, tell your friend that the specter that you guys spoke to before apologizes. I was a bit out of line. I wasn't used to someone invading my brain when I'm just a spirit like this. It wasn't one of my greatest moments, and I wanted to apologize. Or they won't be quiet if I don't. You see, like, a few other specters just kind of... Because it does look kind of like a ruins or a tomb. So...
Right.
I
promise I will pass that along to him.
Thank you. And then as far as your other friend, the one that you had asked a few questions about, I believe it was Riven, was the name?
Yes.
I may have a bit of information for you with regards to her.
Oh, you found something.
I did.
Good.
Took a bit of time. Had to speak to some of the others of your clan, if you will. But, we did get some information for you. Someone down south, in the furthest south of, Gradiriel, town whose name you do not have yet, but you're down here. Fudoku. Yeah.
Sudoku? Is that what you said?
Yahtzee.
Yes.
Sudoku?
All the way back down there.
All the way down there, yes. Someone down there may be able to help her. Those weapons that she wields are not necessarily, good for her. And a person down there can help. You, when you share this information with her, tell her to look for the blacksmith down in Fudoku. A blacksmith. The people of that town will know who you're looking for.
Okay. Thank you for the guidance. I appreciate it.
And as I said, that wasn't one of my finer moments. I am sorry. Feel free to call to us again if you need more assistance.
I'll let everyone know. Thank you again.
She sort of nods her head. Oh no, well actually she will nod her head and then bow in that way that you have seen bowing of respect from the not the Loxodon of Caberton, because you have initially figured out that you're not actually from Caberton. She will bow to you in a way that's very similar to the bow that the head of the monastery up in Iban did.
Mm.
The one that you had initially seen that did the whole specter thing to help you learn what it was.
The one that I went off with?
You went off with Tonto, and then you went into the monastery, and then you met the sort of matriarch that was over that temple, and you spoke to her. And when you had initially went to speak to her, she was floating in the air with specters around her. And here...
Ooh, fancy.
And here, she is bowing like that Loxodon did.
I guess I would, depending on how complicated it is, I would awkwardly try and imitate the bow back.
Yes. It's not difficult.
Okay.
But, yes. Following that, you will peacefully wake up from your dream.
How long is it going to take us to get from? to?
About 10 days, a little over a week.
Okay.
Yes. And that's about the night on day 4 or 5, we'll say 4, that Cad has his dream.
So, what are Riven and Locke doing each day?
I've already said what my pattern is. I'm holding to it.
He's blasting some fish.
I mean, that... Well, I mean, first I'm killing them quickly and psychically.
After getting inside their mind, hi fish, you're going to die.
No, literally, the moment I'm in their head, they die. They're fish. They probably have, like, a hit point. And I'm using Mind Splitter that deals a d6, so, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's not hard. So, Locke is up...
doing during the trip?
And Riven is...
It deals
Taking care
3d6
of
for him right now, actually.
Yeah. Riven is... They're both on the upper deck. Riven is focusing on Hollis, and Locke is going to be dealing with the fish.
Trying to find an opportunity where I could get Locke or get his attention without necessarily having Riven present.
I mean, you can call him
Just
over.
go
She's
below
focused.
deck. She just sits on top of the deck with Hollis.
She's you could easily call Locke to come down to below deck with you.
Sure. Hey Locke, could you come down here for a minute?
Sure, one sec. And I'll turn to the person next to me. You sure this one's poisonous? It looks delicious.
That's how they get you.
That's well, did Riven actually say that?
No.
Okay, making sure. Because that's actually accurate. That's usually how animals work. Well, the more colorful and interesting a animal, especially an animal that's usually prey, looks, the more likely it's not actually safe. So, no. And plus, I want to see you throw the fish again.
Fair enough. And I'll cast Catapult and waste that spell slot, and it just goes...
Bye-bye, fish.
And then I'll go and follow Cad. Alright, what's up?
So I wanted to share something with you and get your thoughts on something, but I didn't really want Riven to hear. At least maybe
secrets,
not
yeah.
yet. Do what?
Secrets. That'll always end well.
Uh-huh. So first and foremost, before I forget, you remember when we were consulting my spectral ancestors, and one of them sort of snapped at you when you were
Vaguely?
trying to, get inside their mind, or whatever it is you do?
I mean, I don't get inside their mind. I link our minds so we can communicate, but go on.
So, some of my other ancestors were ashamed of how she snapped at you, that she should have handled the situation different than that. So, possibly by guilt or possibly by their harassment or some combination, she wanted me to let you know she apologized for that she didn't mean to snap at you the way that she did. She was just not expecting someone to do that to her. And she made me, she asked if I would promise to let you know as soon as I could, so... First and foremost, I wanted to pass that along to you.
Okay. If you get in touch with her again, let her know that apology accepted. It was a bit rude of me. I'm just used to being able to do that and people not noticing. So that's partly just my bad. I'll try to refrain from that in the future.
And the other thing, I don't know, this is why I wanted to get your thoughts on it. You know, the weapons that we suspect may have some sort of issue they're causing for Riven?
You mean the ones that are absolutely causing an issue according to every single source we have at our beck and call? Or of them?
Yeah, those. So, my ancestors came to me in the dream both to apologize to you and also to share that upon further, I guess, research or insight or whatever, that those are most definitely bad news for her. And they said that there is a town far to the south of Caberton, Fudoku, I believe is what she said, and there's a blacksmith there that would be able to help her with those weapons and whatever it is that they're doing that they shouldn't. But I know Riven's very attached to them. That's why I didn't want to run up and gleefully suggest something like that. I wanted to run it past you first and see what you thought.
Right. I mean, the problem is you're absolutely right. She is very alarmingly attached to these things. And I wish I knew why. I mean, obviously it's part of whatever magic these things are working. But the problem with that, of course, is that because she's so attached, approaching her about, maybe doing away with them or letting us, help with whatever it is they're doing is almost certainly to result in her being like, no, fuck you, they're mine. It's,
So, if there is a way to help our friend, I'd like to do that, and that's the assistance that my ancestors shared. But I don't know if it would be better to be forthright, or I don't know.
That is the trick here. Because it's weird, because I don't want to, talk down to her, I don't want to, treat her like she's made of glass or anything. I mean, I respect this woman to death. But at the same time, I can't help but remember, like, how things went last time she was pressured, way back when, before she went her separate ways. That's what led to the group kind of splitting up for a while, and I really don't want that to happen again. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being paranoid, maybe I'm being a coward again, I don't know. But I really don't want to push her too hard.
Find a reason to go in that direction and sort of play it by ear when we get there.
Do we know anything about this town? Do I know anything about this town?
Roll history, Locke.
Okay.
Close to Sevenora.
It is close to
It's one of the two neighboring cities.
Oh, good. 13.
Well, you know that, so with the 13, Sevenora had done, maybe a little bit of trading back and forth with, Fudoku, but Fudoku was, or is, a more, open town when it comes to races, and being the xenophobes that Sevenora is, they interacted with them as little as possible. But
Right.
Based on your 13 roll and what little bit of information Locke has, he would know that Fudoku is probably closer to a town like Yukiegi than, say, Sevenora or Fumak. Or not Fumak, Damapur. It's one of the towns on the continent that is not xenophobic.
Right, okay. Thought occurs to me. Thinking back on what I know about what my mother did back when she still lived in Sevenora, did she have maybe any friends or allies, or did she have any part in the trade arrangements down in this other town?
That's probably true, yeah.
Okay.
Because I think you had said before that she sort of worked with the library and did... What was it that your mom did precisely that you have in your... Did you write that down of specifically what she usually worked with?
I just said she was a wizard.
Yeah, fair. Okay. But yeah, it's entirely possible that she may know of folks that are in Fudoku.
I'm asking, did she do business with any of them? Like, have any, she ran a library, and she runs a library now. So... Of course, this is just if I know anything. Locke was a bit busy getting bullied 98% of the time, so you might not know this shit.
Yeah, you don't know for sure, one way or the other.
Well,
it's possible. You, with your 13 roll of history, you know that it may be possible, but as far as specifics, you don't really know.
I have a thought about that, actually, now that we're on the subject. Fudoku had some small dealings with my hometown of Sevenora way back when, and still does, to my knowledge, but Sevenora, being the den of misfits it is, tends to keep to itself, with a few notable exceptions. I'm not clear on any names or specifics, but I'm pretty confident my mother had a few connections there. So maybe when we're done with our next objective of, extracting silver from the mess she's in, maybe we could pose something, like approach my mother and ask, hey, is there anyone down in Fudoku you want to reestablish a working rapport with? Maybe a business relationship, or just a friend you want us to go check up on, maybe, just something like that. And we could use that as an excuse, frame it like a side quest, if you will. When our true objective, we do the thing we say we're going to do with mothers, and she has a that we want to go to, but our true objective is find this blacksmith you're talking about and go from there.
That sounds like a good plan to me. My only question would be, what if things get worse before they get better?
On which front? We have like a lot of things going on in a lot of corners.
Riven's not always looked this great.
Well, Cal is on top of things, so my hope is that if things get really bad with Riven too quickly, but faster than we have the option to, jump on that, then Cal will notice, and we can. It would probably be a good idea if we shared this information of yours with Cal, and then get their guidance, because slightly irritated as I am to say it, they know Riven a lot better than I do. So, well, irritated is not the right word. I don't know. Either my best, not breast.
Wow. Freudian slip. Woo!
Locke's thinking about that tabaxi.
Perhaps.
Anyway, probably best to bring it up with Cal, so why don't we do that when we get a chance?
Yeah, I agree. So what's Cal been doing?
Cal is mostly stuck to Riven's side and helping her with Hollis. And then as far as like Bjorn, I'm not entirely sure where on the ship Bjorn is.
Given what I know about Bjorn, I feel like it would be just totally in character for him to spend all of his time in like the mess hall making merry with the crew.
Probably.
The guy that
And-
I arm
and, like-
wrestled with, I sort of feel like he would probably get into a drinking and/or arm wrestling competition with him.
Yeah, I feel like Bjorn's just like,
What's your cruise?
merry bunch. Let's just have fun while we're here. So like, keeping guard in the day when guard needs to be kept, but the rest of the time just like, I'm going to make these people have all of the fun in the world, and then doing so because he is Bjorn. That's just kind of what he does.
Yeah. I mean, that seems fitting enough. And then Oak
Turns to the
is
camera
sort
and says, "Well, find me wherever the action is."
of, Oak sort of will keep below deck, and he seems to be largely keeping to himself. Yeah, Oak is below deck, sort of keeping to himself, and Cal is spending time with Riven, who is with Hollis, to make sure the puppy is okay with water and boat ride.
All right.
So, are you guys going to go above deck and try to stealthily speak to Cal via Awakened Mind? Because that's a thing you can do.
Yeah, sure. That is a thing Locke can do. So I guess Locke will find a totally not at all suspicious place to just kind of lean against the railing within 30 feet of them and establish an Awakened Mind connection with Cal.
I mean, it's not hard,
And,
but it's not huge, so.
Yeah, and promptly explain the situation.
There's someone that could help to... Well, you guys are traveling north, and that person is south, right?
I mean, our end goal is... I mean, right now, aren't we, like, headed to... Where are we going in the exact moment again? Because I recall our
Raidell.
specific objective is, get silver, so...
Your specific objective at the moment is to get back at the dude who fleeced you, who's in Raidell.
Ah, right. And where are we right now? You haven't moved our token.
You are currently in the middle of the ocean, right about here.
Okay.
Going to, of course, Eichang over here to then make your way to Raidell.
Somebody erased the name I gave to the little island.
Yeah, I did.
No. And
I
now
know.
we're back in the back in power.
Okay, so
It's okay.
yeah, that is currently what your setup is. Well, if you're traveling north and that person is south, would you say that Riven trusts you guys?
I think so. I mean, she's a very guarded individual, I'm sure you have noticed.
Yeah.
And I remember one time, before our group initially split up, not long before, I think it was shortly after we bumped into you again. I forget what town it was specifically, but
The town you found Callie in?
yeah,
Caracol.
Caracal, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
In Caracal, I think this happened in Caracal, but at one point, like, she definitely was not in a good headspace after that. And at one point, if I'm remembering right, it was a while ago, she got a little inebriated, I think, and then wandered out into the woods.
That was up there, yes.
Okay.
And I was concerned for her, so I followed her, and I might have inadvertently eavesdropped on her having a very private conversation with something I could not see. I'm kind of ashamed of that, honestly, and I would very politely request you don't share the fact that I eavesdropped on that. Please, I like my eyes. And while for the sake of said privacy I won't recount exactly what she said, also because I don't remember the most of it, in specific
Just basically her having an argument with the goddess or magical unicorn that she's seen.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, one of the big takeaways I got from that conversation is that she was afraid of letting the group down, I think. Afraid of letting us all get hurt. Which says to me that at the very least she cares.
She is very protective of those she cares about, yes.
She's also really easy to piss off, so...
Yeah.
Bottom line is, I like to think that she trusts us, but at the same time, I don't want to push that trust too hard and jeopardize it.
Right. Well, the way I figure it, perhaps you said already that your mother knows perhaps of people down there, and you guys are heading up north. I don't want to leave her again, at least not for a while, but at the same time I am worried about these axes.
So am I.
If I can talk her into... Is this why you're speaking to me this way? Do you not want her to know you know this? I would understand that you don't, of course, but...
It's partly that, and also just because, she's very possessive of the axes, and if she overhears a conversation about, like, hey, let's take her somewhere where the axes will get snatched away, she might get uppity, and I'd rather avoid that if at all possible, so...
Right. Well, if I give her... If we still got a couple days before we make it to land again, I'll talk to her for a bit and see if she will sort of let me go for a while. She's journeying with you guys. Once whatever circumstances she's traveling with you are completed, me and her will have time again. Has she told you about our town up north? Our old town?
I am aware that it was attacked by goblinoids, I believe, and that it was destroyed and the vast majority of people slain, and that she very heavily blamed herself for the incident.
Yes. Well...
It was a pretty fresh wound when I first met her, as I recall. Like, it had only happened relatively recently, I think.
Not that long ago at all. I honestly don't know where her headspace is right now, what she's thinking, which very much tells me that something's wrong. Normally I can figure that out.
You can, like, read her like an open book?
Comes from being around her so long.
Right?
But, if I leave, I can look into this blacksmith, see what I can figure out. And if I do leave, and she gets worse, do you have means to your friend Oak was able to contact me.
Yeah.
Do let me know where you are and what's going on with her if she does get worse, and I will come as quickly as I can.
Gotcha.
And if anything worse happens with Dervil, either keep her from doing something stupid, or if she has to charge in head first, go with her. Help her.
We're a team, it's what we do.
That's all I can ask. And thank you, Locke.
Of course. Just looking out for the people I care about. I'm pretty protective of them, too.
There's a moment during this whole exchange where Cal has been, petting Hollis as Riven is continuously making sure he's, groomed and calm and whatever. And Cal just goes, surreptitiously from petting Hollis to just messing up Riven's hair.
What?
Nothing. It's fine. He smiles.
Yeah.
And then Locke will just blend into the background by killing another fish.
Yep.
Hauling it up with Mage Hand.
What? What do you have against fish?
It's more food,
Food.
says the ship hand.
Food? Is this one good? And I'll hold it out to the ship hand.
Yeah, I think that one's pretty good.
Great. Take it to the mess hall to get away.
Alright.
And
Yep. And then, following through from that, you guys will eventually make your way into Eichang. Hooray!
Eichang!
Yes,
I need town music.
And as soon as you land on the docks and you're off the boat and everything, Cal will sort of turn to Riven's. So, your goal is heading north, right? That's what you're doing, Raidell?
Yeah. And then, don't we have... Did Cal tell the whole party about what happened to Young? She just disappeared?
Yes. She would have mentioned that on boat ride as well. So...
yeah, we go to Raidell and then decide what to do about finding Young wherever the last place you saw her.
Yeah. She was... Last I saw her, she was trying to keep track of or find Riven's sword, or silver sword. And then I just lost contact with her. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but I would imagine that if whoever has silver has captured Young, that might be where she is, or at least you could find some clues. We were actually in a completely different town when...
Well, what town was it?
We were actually up in Caracal.
Okay, that's our... I would suggest that's our next stop, then, if they want to go look and... I don't know.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of Caracal, Riven.
Yes.
I had when there was something that the apothecary up there in Caracal wanted me to find for him, and then I never did find it because I found you instead. Well, I found Hollis.
Okay.
It's a mission I never did finish with him. Think you can keep these guys safe?
You're gonna leave again? She's going to pout.
Oh. Just duck face it.
Damn it. You know I can't say no to that.
You're going to leave again. You know I can't say no. Yes.
Shush. Shush. All right.
I'll pull Hollis into this.
You don't do that. I'll stick around for a little bit just to make sure that you guys don't do anything
I
crazy.
mean, you were looking for stuff up north. It could be along the way up there. Since we gotta go to Curl anyways.
That's true. I'll stick around for a little bit.
At least until Caracal, please.
Riven becomes just a child with this person. It's great.
Riven, roll persuasion with advantage.
With advantage.
With advantage.
That's not gonna be fair. I said with advantage, so that's... It doesn't matter with charisma. That's a 16.
Okay. At least you don't have a minus in it.
Yeah.
She will.
So, is the party okay that we go to Caracal after to look for Yang after we deal with this jeweler?
I mean, that's our objective.
From pouty face to grump face.
Hey.
Why pouty face to grump face?
Because the jeweler, she's mad at the jeweler.
Ah, right. Naturally. Okay. So, you guys are going to leave from Eichang and start making your trek that way
So,
towards Raidell.
Locke. Wait, was it Locke or Oak that talked to the dragon? About...
Generally, it was Locke that the dragon would speak to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Locke. What did the dragon say what we needed to do with this jeweler man?
Dungeon Master, what did the dragon say we needed to do with this jeweler man? Look, it's been a while, and we play every other week. My brain is fried pudding.
You were told by said dragon lady that she wanted the jeweler to pay for fleecing you guys, and by extension her. And she wanted some degree of proof or payment from him that you had initially been giving to her. By that I mean she either wants the money that he owes you to be then given to her, or at the very least proof of his demise and or humiliation. Preferably, the easiest would be demise, at least with her standings, because of how angry she was at the time. But, you know.
She did send a hit squad after us.
She did, yeah.
And now we're the hit squad. Are we winning?
I don't know, we're just all over the place.
The delivery of that was amazing.
Yes. So yeah, that was what Locke remembers.
How much does Locke relay to Riven?
All of that.
I can work with that.
And there was the potential plan of, terrifying him half to death, a la, like a Christmas Story thing, with like illusions and things, and maybe something with Gretchen and whatnot, or at least
we tried
Gretchen's,
talking about it.
Gretchen's likeness or whatever. That was mostly talked out of character, I think, but
Yeah.
You do have the means to make a plan to do that as you are making your way that way. I would, and this is Oak speaking, I would rather not do something that would get us largely kicked out of yet another town. That's already happened with Caverton.
Right?
For you guys.
Give it 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
5 minutes. It'll
Why
happen
5
by
minutes?
association. Because that seems like a nice round number and it makes for a funny joke.
So what do we want to do with this?
Well, I for one don't want to kill him myself. So...
I don't know, just go back and confront him.
I mean, yeah, of course, that's obviously the thing we can do. But the problem then is that, like, was it strictly speaking humiliation or death, or can we just... Or do we just need to get the money back?
I mean...
I think it's either.
It's mostly either, yeah. As
Okay,
long as
get the money.
she would need some form of proof of humiliation or death or the money. One of the two.
Or the money. Okay. Well, getting the money back sounds like the more appropriate option. We have a direwolf.
Yes, and we went with the direwolf last time.
We have a tool now that lets you talk with said direwolf.
We do?
Yeah, there's like this enchanted item, remember? The Omnilet. And when you wear it and attune to it, it lets you talk with Hollis, remember? And you can understand him, and he can understand you, and he basically gave you the equivalent of a dog hug when he realized you understood what he was saying.
Wait,
And
what?
amulet?
Says Cal?
Omnilet, as in many, for Omni Amulet.
Amulet.
Yeah.
That's what we decided that the name of the
Amulet.
amulet is. It's the amulet.
Because
I know.
it's everything in a little package.
Amulet.
And
Oh,
Cal's like, wait, what?
Omnilet.
Yeah. So, what I specifically have written down here. Riven gains the power to speak with animals. When threatened by an enemy, she will gain Hunter's Mark on them. The amulet bears a symbol of a castle
Omelet?
with the skull over it.
Anyway.
I am Omelet, the cheese Danish!
Why is it named after an egg dish?
Omelet the cinnamon roll. Anyway, go ahead.
I was quoting a play, guys.
I mean,
Omnilet.
Yuki was almost.
I mean, this is actually Riven, like, going through and, like, saying the name over and over again.
Look, if it makes you happy, we can just say it's the amulet of many things.
And then Cal's like,
Omelet.
What is this? What?
We still don't know what it does with you.
What?
But
Well, we only know that it does one thing. For me.
I'm pretty sure right now it's in Kadruil's position because of all the perception increases it gives him.
Yeah.
And
you
the
guys
added
also-
damage?
You guys also know now that since he's had that amulet is when he started taking damage at the end of combats. Now, granted, you don't.
One reaction per round is now every time someone takes damage, including myself, I can blanket heal everyone or absorb for everyone.
Right, and I can't remember what the other one for Riven is other than talk to
Hunter's
Pupper.
Mark. Hunter's Mark. Riven.
So the reason I bring that up is
Riven's secondary thing was everyone got two things when they initially attuned to it. And those were the things that Locke has written down. And for Riven, the initial things was a reactionary Hunter's Mark, a Hunter's Mark that would trigger whenever she takes damage.
Oh, okay.
And then speak with animals on Hollis always. But there's also the stipulation, at least from Cad's thing, that there's a third thing. That if you have it for longer or certain situations, you might get something different. Because Cad's two things were he could read all writing because his eyes were glowing. He randomly had eyes of the Runekeeper. And he had advantage on perception checks for everything, not just smell.
Well, point is, the reason I was bringing up the Omnilet is that if we use this thing and allow you to communicate directly with Hollis, that's an intimidation tool right there by having Hollis just act incredibly pissed at this poor bastard. Scare him into giving us the money we're owed. I don't know how much money he owes us. It's been a long time.
You could also
He owes me a couple of $1,000. A couple of 1,000 gold.
You could also just have me in this scout. You could also just have me or Riven turn into a wolf and terrify him.
That would also work.
Also, I can speak with
Why
animals.
not both?
Also, I can speak with animals to Hollis with a spell, and so can Riven. I think.
Oh. Well, I don't know what your guys' spell lists are.
We have spell lists?
There are things you can do that are rooted in magic, so technically speaking, yes.
I am curious about this amulet thing, though.
Omelet.
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 Do you want to try the omelet, Cal?
Sure.
Cad, would you like to lend Cal the omelet for a little while, just to see what it does?
Sure, I guess. Do my eyes immediately stop glowing when I hand it over, or is it like after an hour kind of thing?
It's after an hour.
Alright.
Well, technically, I think you could drop attunement whenever you want. That doesn't take an hour. So, if you're handing it off, you could have it drop, and then you lose the eye thing. Or you could just wait until she attunes to it in an hour, and then it'll disappear that way too. So,
Wait. Glowy eyes are fun.
And as that disappears and she's attuning to it, Cal's like, I was wondering why your eyes were doing that. That's weird.
I honestly forgot that was part of the effect.
Yeah.
Kadruil's been maintaining vegan edge.
Usually, Cad would keep the hat to hide that.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Because it doesn't actually do anything. It just looks cool.
You said it was like Eyes of the Runekeeper sort of thingy?
Yeah, it's glowing eyes like Eyes of the Runekeeper would do. But anyway, so Cal will take up the omelet, apparently.
That's just the fucking omelet, if that's just what we're calling it now.
I don't know. And she will attune to it as you guys are traversing and making your way to Raidell. So it is going to go from the image of that was on it for Cad to being unicorn head, like Cal's holy symbol.
Alright, do we know what it does?
Not initially, no. Not directly apparent.
I'll give it some time. I'm sure something will come up.
Bit of ways to go to Raidell.
Like, are there any, like, visual changes?
So, since this is a caricature for Cal and associated with Riven, what do you think is, aside from the obvious, like, worry and protection towards Riven because of obvious reasons, what is something that you can think of, Sam, that's important to Cal aside from Riven directly? Because she's a druid, so there's elements of like druid
just
class.
keeping the balance of things?
Yeah.
Of like the nature and stuff, mainly.
Yeah. She was a moon druid, right?
Yes.
Okay. So there's no immediate visual cues of changes or anything. And Cal's just, well, I noticed that it changed symbols. I don't know what the significance of that symbol was for Cad, but I know what this one is for me. It's a holy symbol for me now, I guess. Interesting. Where did you get this
Now
thing?
you're wearing 2.
Where did you get this thing? Anyway.
I don't remember.
I do.
You got it from the glass from the golem that you fought. Cad picked up the glass from the golem that you guys fought and then gave it to Ulara, the artificer, who turned it into this.
It was
And she wasn't sure what it did.
shards.
Yes. It is an amulet made of largely multicolored glass melted down to form the shape of an amulet. And she wasn't sure what it did. And because it did different things. But functionally speaking, for those that would need it one thing that it does do at just a flat level is it suffices as a either holy symbol if you're a class that needs a holy symbol, or a arcane symbol if you're a class that needs that. So it can do either one of those things. Not arcane symbol, arcane focus. So it can be a arcane focus or a holy symbol, depending upon which the particular character would need. Yes. So immediately apparent, nothing that you can see, but she'll hold on to it for a while.
Okay.
And you will continue ever onward.
Yes.
So in this, let's see, let me double check that was at least 2 days travel from Eichang. So more like right here. Yeah. Boop. Let's do a perception check that I haven't done for the entire time because it actually matters now.
Oh, joy.
4
Smell and see 21.
for Bjorn.
Oh,
14.
dice thing. Hollis and Riven see nothing.
Quick question. Or rather is Cal the savvy hunter, or is that more Riven?
It's more Riven. She was just part of the hunting group and stuff, just to
Okay.
help with things. I guess. I can't remember what.
Why not? Boop. And I need a oak as well. It was in fact a long rest button. Where is this long rest button? Apparently I don't have it. Anyway, it's fine. I forgot to heal oak from forever ago. So, wow. Ah.
Huh?
Oh.
It was blocked by his own subconscious.
Apparently. Oak rolled perception so badly that he rolled the same that Locke did with a decent roll. Because 13 becomes 14. Because that one.
Yeah, Locke got a 4. The 14 is Bjorn.
Oh, right. Okay. So, Cad 21, Riven 9, Locke 4, and then 14, 7, 19, 14. Okay. So, yeah, we'll put it on the middle watch, I suppose.
Are we all about to die? Horrible,
Yes.
gruesome, painful deaths.
No. I'm just going to put this with, it was usually Oak and Bjorn, Cad and Locke, and then Riven and Hollis at the end. So Riven, Hollis, and Cal. Okay, so, in the middle watch, the watch that is, Cad and Locke. No. Locke and Cad, the two of you on your watch in the middle of the night, will hear a very odd commotion coming from this forest over here.
What kind of commotion?
Um,
Is it the sort of commotion that involves dogs and cats living together and mass hysteria?
no. And it's mostly Cad that hears it, because you rolled a 4.
Yeah, I'm like sitting there
juggling
meditating.
plot
Yeah,
hammers.
yeah. To explain that, let's just say that I'm sitting there meditating, trying to get back into that like swamp palace thing, swamp mind palace.
That's an interesting way to put it.
It's not totally inaccurate, though, is it?
No, it's not actually. So, Cad, you will hear what sounds like. It sounds like a scuffle or a fight of perhaps a group of animals. That is coming from this forest over here.
Hey, Locke, check it out. Nature.
Locke will look towards the nature.
I have succeeded.
With him pointing out the direction for you, you will hear it too. It's sounds like some medium or larger animal in a scuffle or a fight, and sounds about like maybe some kind of wild dogs. Not entirely sure. You don't really know animals.
But I can think of a couple people who do.
You do. Mm-hmm.
So I'll awaken mine to one of them, like the great fool that I am.
Which one? Technically, you have 3 that decently know animals.
Let's go with Riven.
Okay.
So I'll awaken mine to Riven and be like, hey, some shit's happening nearby. Do you want to do anything about it, or just let them fuck each other up?
What? What?
It sounds like there's fighting not far away. Do we have any
Does she
interest
hear it now that
whatsoever?
she's awake? Slightly?
Roll perception.
Locke, the master of explaining things.
Okay, 21 this time.
Yes, you do.
Can I roll a nature to figure out if I can tell by the sounds what it is?
Yes.
10.
Sounds like dogs. Or canines. Maybe
It
cat.
might be a pack of wolves?
Maybe cats.
Are they adorable or intimidating?
Maybe cats?
It occurs to me that doesn't sound very different, but you're the expert.
It's either dogs or cats? What? Cow.
Hmm? Huh? What?
She's like, kind of like reaches over and like does the little slappy on the arm thing to wake up.
Huh? What? Hmm?
There's noises. Locke's
There's,
scared.
there's noises. That's adorable.
There's noises. Locke is scared.
Scared is not the right fucking word.
Obviously you are, or you wouldn't have waken us up. It's okay, Locke.
To
It's
be
okay.
fair, you woke me up. He woke you up.
Yes. Well, again, he's scared. Anyway.
Can I mage hand to put a mouth over a hand over Riven's mouth to shut her up now? Because Locke is annoyed with her now. He is very, very annoyed with his best friend and wants her to shut the fuck up.
Sure, go right ahead.
Okay. A magical invisible hand covers your mouth.
What?
She looks over at Locke.
Locke gives her a shit-eating grin.
There's a slow finger tap.
In your mind, you'll hear, take back saying I'm afraid, and maybe I'll get rid of the mouth.
Like in her head, she's like, how am I supposed to say that if you're covering my mouth?
Just like how you said that.
But there's a hand over. You're speaking in my mind.
Oh, she figures it out. A miracle.
Don't get sassy with me.
Don't say I'm scared.
Why'd you wake me then?
Concern and fear are two very different things.
Meanwhile, Cal goes back to sleep.
Why does Cal go back to sleep?
Actually, how easy can Riven multitask with hearing Locke in her head and Cal speaking beside her? Because Cal, it's just a pack of wolves with a kill. Leave them alone. Go back to sleep.
I don't like that laugh.
I'm just trying to think of how to word it.
Cal would.
It's just like if Cal just like goes back to sleep, Riven's gonna be like, "Wait, what? Why are you going back to sleep?"
Didn't you hear me? I said it's just a bunch of wolves with a kill or something. It's fine.
Okay, yeah. Locke. It's just a pack of wolves with a kill or something. There's nothing to be afraid about. I'm going back to bed now.
The mouth remains, or the hand remains.
Keep doing that.
And then Locke turns to Kadruil. It's just a bunch of wolves. It's like the most indirect alert ever.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. We are hopeless. We are a hopeless bunch.
We are amazing and the best party ever.
It's fine.
We are something.
I just.
At the
it's
very
fine.
least, we're
just
entertaining.
Yes. I just have lovely NPCs along with the party to help keep you guys from not getting plot hammered. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So.
Onward to the town.
Yeah. Onward to the town indeed. Unless there's anything else that anybody wants to do in that last, I think that's a day.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to rest in Raidell, because it's a day's travel from exactly where you were at.
Oh, that's fine.
Medieval Las Vegas again. Bjorn's very happy.
You can go hang out. We can park him. We can put him in a. Have someone babysit him at a bar.
You just send him to Mudslide.
Yes, have Mudslide babysit him. We're gonna go find Mudslide.
It's not that hard.
Who's Mudslide babysitting? Oh.
Mudslide is babysitting Bjorn.
Right. My brain didn't work and then suddenly it worked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Suddenly I had recollections of Bjorn dancing. Anyway.
In the sky.
In the sky.
I have been chosen.
Yes, that.
Which I still think is the best part of this whole damn campaign so far.
I mean, fair. Yeah.
That is funny.
Strong second is Riven's conversation with Locke about planes, because that was funny.
and I think that happened because he asked what her favorite color was, and somehow, some fucking how,
Exactly.
and some fucking how we wound up talking about.
And she
I
still
want to go
doesn't.
back and listen to that.
And she still doesn't understand. It's great.
Like,
She just like
Locke
nods.
explained-
She just goes okay and nods, even though she has experienced it.
She's experienced it now, but like at the time, I don't think she had.
No, at the time she had.
No, she didn't. Like
Not
the thing
then.
is, like,
Anyway, so you guys will find your way to the same tavern as per before, because it's the easiest ones. Well, actually, no. Oak is going to take you to one of the other mini taverns so that you don't have to spend as much gold, even though you have a lot of gold. But you're going to save that for the Dragon Lady. So you're not staying at the Sparkling Wishes, much to Bjorn's chagrin, probably.
oh no, we'll just go take him over to the Idle Tomcat
Oh yeah,
and
he'll probably-
park him on the porch. with
He'll probably
Rock-
go over there easily.
What's left?
So following that, you will wake up the next morning, and now you have your course of action to try to plan. And I'm going to, because Bjorn would be part of this plan, I'm going to allow you to come up with the plan. Try to remember the plan. Tell it to David later, and we'll do the plan next time.
Okay.
I
feel like this is exactly the kind of thing that Bjorn would want to be involved with, though. This is the exact sort of plan he would want to have a hand in. It just feels like a Bjorn thing.
I know exactly what Riven's going to do.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So,
What's Riven's plan for this then? Let's hear that, and then we'll close it out on that then.
well, we'll just go in, sit there, lock the door, lock any other doors if we find them. Then we just smash his face into the money and be like, give us the real money, or we'll cut your hand off, and cut his hand off anyways, and send it to the dragon.
So we
Sounds
don't
right?
want to get kicked out of this town.
That's why I only said a hand. We're not killing him.
Mutilation is still a pretty heinous crime, Riven.
Yes, but he's a criminal. If we can give him proof that he's a criminal, we should be fine. What?
Oh,
I mean, we
also-
technically we do have proof, because I don't know how much of my money is fake.
Also, it is worth noting, especially now in these conversations and things, it's happening more directly. Those of you who,
Oh yeah.
were not necessarily aware of it, Riven's eyes are nice and cloudy and misty. It's almost like she's blind, but she can still see.
Awaken mind a Cal and point that out.
Yeah, I saw that earlier. She can still see, though. I tried to leave, but yeah, that's not happening right now.
Right. Cal can just feel Locke's deadpan glare. He's not giving her one, but she can just feel those vibes coming over the lake.
Why? Why the glare?
No, not you, Cal.
I know. Why?
Look, I
You had
can't.
one job.
I can't say no when she gives me the pouty face. It's a thing. I'm sorry.
If that is the kind of horrific power that being in a couple can do, then I both do and do not want to be in one. Because that is ripe for abuse.
I mean, if she insisted on it, Riven would be like, okay.
We'll
But
find
she
out.
didn't, so.
She didn't. No. I mean, it might be that she does actually want to spend a little bit more time with Riven than just being on a boat. But anyway, I'll get it figured out. Don't worry about it.
Wait, can we have anyone investigate the gold that I have, or the money that I have now, to see which is real and which is fake?
That's actually not a bad idea.
So we have that. We know who to point the finger at.
Cad, you wanna?
Guard.
Because you were like a coin keeper or something, if I'm recalling, or you dealt with coin a lot.
Oh yeah, don't I have like the ability to check something? Ensure. Oh, yep. See. Now I don't know if this was some BS thing or if this was some real thing.
And sure, money is money.
I mean, what are you rolling what are you getting the +7 from?
That's intelligence plus proficiency.
Sure.
So if you
She
ignored
just sits
the,
there and like,
advantage, it'd be a 19.
I don't know where she's keeping all this money, but she like pulls out 159 platinum, 737 gold, and 17 silver.
17 silvers? Oh my god, we don't have to go on a rescue mission.
If I said the same thing, you'd be across your room yelling at the sky.
Anyway.
You don't like puns, and yet you just made a pun.
Well, see, that's okay, because he made
Exactly.
Right.
That's how that works.
it.
No, you see, you made it, I capitalized on it.
Anyway.
I see what you did there, because we're talking about money, and you capitalized.
Fuck you.
Locke, message the dragon and ask how much of the money that we gave her was fake.
I don't have the power to do that. Oak, you'll have to take the fall.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Okay, I guess we're just going tits up.
Okay, I guess we'll just go and try to get... So, how much of my money is fake?
Well, with the 19,
Because I remember we did... The rock I gave them was... how much was it? Like 3,500?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
We'll say that, what was your figures right now? In platinum?
59 plat. How much in
259?
platinum? 159. And we gave...
platinum.
We gave 600 to... No.
I
I
can
thought
go
we
back
gave
and,
her 100, something in the hundreds amount in platinum.
I can go back and check the numbers. But largely with the 19 roll there, Cad is able to figure out that your gold is fine, and your platinum that you're currently holding, only 100 of it is real. That other extra is not.
Ah. Okay, so I'll put the fake platinum in a separate baggie, I guess?
I mean, you could have multiple pouches, that's fine.
Yeah, well, it's in a separate pouch, and I'm just gonna sit there and take it and whack it in his face. If I see him.
And just slap him with a bag of money, like, you
Yep.
bitch!
Yeah. Just give me my money.
We're going in to basically perform the equivalent of a bank robbery, let's be real. Or just you know, it's a stick up is what it is what we're about to perform.
That's what Riven wants to do. She can be easily talked into, like, oh, hey, let's go see guards and point out, like, hey, this is money is fake. We went to this guy.
Why the fuck did I not think of that?
I don't know.
I wanted to be extra psychologically disturbing, so I transform into his likeness, and I'm the one beating him up.
Oh.
So he's the one beating himself up.
When it would be himself much bigger, because he's
Yes.
a gnome.
And no, I wouldn't actually do that.
Right, of course not.
Riven,
Or at least that wouldn't be my own idea.
But yeah, since you have mentioned the guards that, you know, for some reason my stupid ass did not think of, let's say Locke thinks of that now. Or better yet, let's just say Bjorn thinks of that or something.
I mean, yeah.
I
feasible.
figured Bjorn would be down with beating him.
True. Okay.
It sounds fun.
How about Oak then? Since he's the good
Oak
boy
and
of the group.
Cal, they can sit there and be like, play that side.
Yeah, pretty much.
But like,
And-
oh,
at
I
the
think
point-
I know.
At the point in which Riven's just like, I'm going to beat him up with this bag of money, and Cal's just like, or you use the money, since you now know it is fake, to point out to the guards to say that he's fleecing people's money, you know, and getting out fake money, and then you get him thrown into whatever amounts to a prison in this place, and...
Right. But I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How do we know the guards are clean?
Good point,
Because if
actually.
there's fake money running around, and they haven't caught it yet, something's fishy.
Hey, holy man, whoever you are, Bjorn. Can you do the whole zone of truth thing? I've heard about those things.
Oh, look at Bjorn's spells.
Out of character, I know Riven knows a guard that's like a stick in the ass. So,
Okay.
do the law, so.
What shield level? What spell level is Zone of Truth? Oh, never mind. He has it, and he has it prepared.
Oh, good.
So it is like, Oh, yes, I do have that, yes.
That's convenient.
It is very.
Who is it that Riven's talking about?
That one guard that kinda helped her when she got lost in the town. Because I remember you saying something out of character. This is all out of character. It's like Riven doesn't know she's a stick in the mud. Just like she had an interaction with this guard.
Oh, right, her.
The party, yeah, because, like, Riven got hopelessly fucking lost.
Right.
Yeah,
right. That's
just
true.
like, and the guard was like, "Why do you have a wild beast in here?"
Right, yeah. That would work, yeah.
I mean, that's only if like Riven realizes like, "Oh, hey, look, that's her. I kind of ran into her. Let's talk to her."
That's true.
What?
Actually, no. She's currently not here.
Ah, good point. Okay. Oh, right. Okay.
So, yes.
That means I have to finish something.
So I think what we can amount to is you're going to either get the guard or try to intimidate him, and we will see what
we should have when Bjorn is present.
yes see what's going to happen with Bjorn here. And we can call that there, and we will work on the rest of it later. Congratulations, Riven. You've succeeded in dodging more shenanigans happening to you.
Woo!
You rolled 4 times and only got 1.
Yeah, which I'm going to go look at something because I thought there was like something else that we came up with.
Actually, because it increases with each of your tier of the thing.
Right. I don't see the DC, but we did give stats to use,
Yeah, we did.
which I think you can figure out how to make the DC.
Well, either way, we
But-
still need to do the next time and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will say, yeah, we'll work on that. But let's do next time things. Because I think we might give Riven 1 more because that 15 might be too low. Now that I'm looking at it. So
Discuss in a minute after we close out.
yeah, I'll work that out with you. So next time can be. This has been Shadows of Gradiriel. Next time, Sam.
Wait. Oh, watch us next time. Figure out whether or not we're going to go and attempt to be honest heroes or go and be a bunch of brigands and get our money back.
Murder hobos, go!
We are not murder hobos.
We're trying not to be murder hobos. Even Riven was like, just beat him, not to kill him. Beat him.
Beat him within an inch of his life.
Yes.
It's a very small inch.
Let us fight him to the pain.